is, I think, even when our stories are narrated, even if when you find a character that represents you or your struggle or your weakness, your problem is that sometimes it's just neglected. People ignore it, or they, how do you say it? They reduce it or reduce its importance, or they'd be like, oh, another woman's story, you know? I don't like this entire struggle of man versus woman. We actually complement each other. I'm not better than you, you're not better than me either. You have your own responsibilities, I have mine. We have to actually work on that right now. The number of women I see on the like on location recently, it's increasing. And one of the most recent, actually my last series that I shot, 90% of the crew was women, and it was very, very nice. But the thing is, it always goes back to society. Again, would her husband let her? Would her parents let her? And this also goes back to education. I'm sorry, I always feel that this is where it goes back to. It always falls into that pot. I don't like women representing themselves as weak. I need to see how she goes through a weakness and how she gets out of it. You know, how she becomes inspiring to other women, how she gets out of it, she finds herself, you know.
But as survivors, not as victims.
Yeah, exactly. Or you see her struggle and then you see how she survived it. We have so many women who are being victimized, and again, it goes back to not being raised properly. I don't want to say it by the mothers, but maybe sometimes the father is you know, dominant over the mother, and you know, both the mother and the daughter are being treated badly. Exactly, patriarch. What I think we need to do is to enlighten women and to enlighten them so they don't act out of fear. When you act out of fear, your reactions are always wrong. If you know what you're doing is right, it's correct, you have nothing to fear, people will respect that and they will abide to that. But as long as you're acting out of fear, you will never find yourself, and you will never be able to be powerful, you'll never be able to, you know, be a leader, you will never be able to control your life. I had a long struggle with myself growing up because I was always feeling ashamed of being a woman. You know, you shouldn't wear whatever you want. Don't be too loud. Don't dance. Don't, I don't know, whatever it is. And I realized that, you know what, no matter how, you know, cute or whatever you do, you know, if you abide, and you abide by the society rules, it will never stop them judging you. They will find something. Because they probably, as businesswomen, they thought if I put my money in, I will not make my money back. Yeah, it's a chauvinistic society. And it's in the world, actually. I think that also applies in Hollywood. I'm not sure though. But yeah, you know, they demean you, they put you down. They have their things that you know, unless you're truly a very heartless woman, you know, like a woman of steel, you know, they won't let you pass. They won't let you pass. I'd like to see more stories of women in our history, in Arab history. Of queens and empresses, and you know, I would like to see powerful women from mythologies, from any possible, you know, story. It doesn't always have to be. That's exactly what I mean. When you show a man's story, a male hero, you don't look for something other than him being, you know, a hero. Even when he's breaking rules, you're like, you know, he has a reason why he broke the rules, and this is what makes him a hero. I want to see a woman break the rules and also be a hero. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm really unhappy with the whole, you know, you have to Botox yourself and fillers, and you're not allowed to have a wrinkle, you're not allowed to have white hair, you're not allowed to gain weight. this is very unhealthy. I was following all these health accounts on Instagram, and then it suddenly became too intimidating even for a person like me. I've been modeling since the age of 13, and I've been acting, for like 15 years right now. And I should be, aware of the fact that a lot of this is either photoshopped or exaggerated. But this did not stop it from intimidating me and actually making me feel very insecure. And I ended up going and, filling my upper lip, and I looked like a duck, and people started making fun of me. And I only started feeling good after I went back to the doctor and I told him, remove it quickly. I want to be me. I want to be me. I'm never going to make that mistake again. At first, I felt, yeah, maybe this is going to make me feel better. And then I realized, no, it's not making me feel better. It's not making people around me feel better. People are like, what's wrong with you? Something that's unnatural is not good. So this kind of society pressure is not right. It's women should embrace themselves the way they are. I don't think they should be wearing full makeup all day. I don't think they should feel ashamed of their bodies if this is what they want. They should be aware of their health. You should take care of your health. It's very important. You're a woman, you're allowed to embrace your womanhood whichever way you want. If this is what's going to make you feel confident, if this is what's going to make you feel comfortable, be the woman you want to be. Do not pretend to be someone else, neither to please other women nor to please other men. These are things that should be represented, I think, in miniseries, in cinema, in mobile series, and especially we should promote it to children. You're injecting this into the girls of not being able to accept themselves. And no, I think everyone is beautiful in their own different way. And at the end of the day, you know what? Even the most beautiful woman in the world. In French, there's a saying that says, "Même la plus belle femme au monde ne peut donner que ce qu'elle a." Even the most beautiful woman in the world, she cannot give except what she has, what she owns. And it's her character at the end of the day. It's her brain. I can love you now for your looks today, tomorrow, a year later, and then what's gonna stay is your sense of humor, your intelligence, your character, how positive you are, how much you can, uplift people around you, how you're living life, how you're inspiring people around you. It's really not about the way you look. There is a certain part where you should just, feel good about yourself. Exactly, just be yourself, whichever way you are, people will accept you. You know that this man, if you put his name on the poster, he's going to get X amount of people. And the woman is usually, her character is just helping him, the dame in distress. And that's also a hard struggle. The thing is also, when you want to empower women in a movie or in a series, you need it also to be partially realistic. You cannot just put a woman who's a superhero or who's super strong in a society where women are not like this. They're going to be like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? So it's a fine balance that needs to be increased, gradually. You cannot shock the people all of a sudden. However, if you bring stories like Cleopatra, Nefertiti, Queen Arwa from Yemen, whatever, mythologies, any of those things, this could be inspirational, where society wouldn't be saying, oh, you're taking me for a ride, You can start with these, but when you want to do social things, it has to start little and then grow bit by bit. They also have to understand that it is a power. When women empower each other, just like men when they empower each other, just like, for instance, seeing people of the same nationality, they empower each other, power comes in numbers. It shouldn't be, a woman breaking down another woman. It should be a healthy competition. Competition is there at work. We have to, accept that it exists. It's normal, it exists. But you should also respect and understand, be honest to yourself, yeah, she deserves that. She deserved that role, or she deserved that job, or whatever it is. But as long as we're breaking each other down or talking about each other, it makes us a weak entity, as opposed to men. They could be enemies, but if a woman starts trying to, talk about any of them or try to break down a relationship between them or something like that,
they have a They broke codes.
They will, yeah, they have a bro code. We should have a sister code.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do. And respect it and stick to it, because we have the sister code every day when we see each other, but we don't abide by it, you know, again, because we're driven by fear. Fear of not getting another job, fear of not getting, you know, higher on the professional ladder, fear of not getting an opportunity. Although, you know what? It's not in your hands, it's not in my hands, it's in God's hands. You're gonna get whatever you're supposed to get. It's your fate, you know. That's it. The women will only be able to come forth with their stories and be open about it when they found other women empowering them. And when they empowered each other, men started listening. Because, you know, usually, I'm sorry, I really don't want to talk badly about anyone, and I'm not here, again, I don't like the whole struggle men versus women, by the way. But when a man accepts that a woman gets harassed, but does not accept that his sister or his mother gets harassed, this, you know, double standard makes it very imbalanced and very unfair, and this is him turning a blind eye. When you represent these stories in movies, through movies, educating people helps decreasing the violence in societies. Because I think lack of education, ignorance about topics, regardless of what topic, whether it's sexual harassment, whether we're talking about environmental problems, whether we're talking about how to deal with differently abled people, how to deal with anything, you know. Education at the end, the more educated you become, the more aware you become of the effects and the repercussions of minor actions, the easier it becomes for you to solve the problem and to be proactive. And it goes back to when you put it in a movie, when you insert it in a series or in a movie or in any story, people will understand it. They'll be like, yes, I know this, you're right. And then they will add to the positivity. They will have more creative things to put and more creative ways to solve. The scary part is also people do not read as much as before. They haven't been taught to appreciate beauty. Like, you don't teach many children right now how to appreciate a painting, or how to smell a perfume, or how to observe, you know, beautiful things around them in nature. So when you lose these refined feelings in boys and girls, you start being, you know, like a robot, and you start feeling that no, things should be sharp for me to understand it. They cannot understand the minor beauties. There are still some people who are like that. There are people who are, but I feel like they're decreasing and, you know, sort of trying to grab on. And it's, you know, I wish we could go back to appreciating music and dancing and perfumes and tasting. And this, when you revive these emotions, you will know how to be, you know, kind with a woman, kind with a flower, kind with a child, kind with an animal. Kindness is a very, very powerful tool. And love is a very powerful tool that we have lost.